This is Cheap and Nasty video number 2. This is my workspace video. I'm using an old Handycam JVC camera with a widescreen adapter on it. Sorry, what do they call them? Anyway, it's a wide teleconverter so you can see things. So the focus might be a bit rough and not doing everything. What's the name of those converters? Anyway, it's a wide converter just so you can see things. So this is the workspace for the radio broadcasting. Set up radio broadcast mode. That's the Whiskey Chaser mug. Long story, it's royalty. You know, it doesn't get used for coffee. It's the pen holder. We have a multi-screen system. This screen for people to recognise. That's the chat room. So when you're doing DJ stuff, that's how I chat to people in the chat room. Middle screen is our broadcast controller, which is our mixing desk and does all the stuff and all that. A repeater screen for that, just because we can. So it's got one screen up there. This is actually the main broadcast screen. Microphone. That's the main. We have 2 mics that we can have of those. Rode Pro broadcasters or broadcasters running through our system. This now is on the screen. That is our MP3 database, and from here I can send them to any of the playback decks. So that's going to deck 1, send one to deck 2, send them to deck 3, send to deck 4. There's a preview system. I can send them to what's called the preview deck as well, but that can send from our audio server, routes MP3 files wherever I want them to go digitally. I also have, this system also got a playlist, so I can jump over here so I'm not searching. I can set up stuff. So there is some of the stuff I played last Friday night. That's a Saturday morning playlist. That's a Sunday morning playlist. So as you can see, it only gives a short list, and then I can send them from there. So I pre-select out the database what I want to send to air. So back on the on-air system, there's all the tracks I just set to the decks and do that, and mics and stuff in there. Of course, that screen, there is a repeater screen up here because it just sometimes it's easier to see what's going on sometimes. Also for when we're doing other stuff, it's just handy to do 2 screens when editing. Next screen along, Skype. That's where all the Skype stuff in, controls. You can also, on this one, eBay. Look, oh! And this one I can monitor, if you can see it. That's why I'm trying to use this widescreen. That's equivalent to checking on the transmitter on the broadcast details. Ooh, anyway, so that Skype comes in. Now, our other system is, we've got a system called Play It Live, which is a digital cart system. So for those who recognise Google or Guess, these are all the Google or Guess. So it's a touch screen, tap it and go. So that's Google or Guess has its little screen there. Here is a live broadcast screen. I won't go into too much details because I'll probably do another stuff, but for those who are the promos, come out from here, shows you what it's playing, where it's on, and it's all touch screen. It's all set up to do different things on command, Keith Urban stuff. That's the weekend show, as you can see. Anyway, I'll do a bit more in depth on Play It Live later for those if you're interested. So that, over here we have, trying to get back a bit, we have a Behringer channel. That is not used for actually broadcasting. That's a monitor desk. Every little piece of audio equipment can be sent to the headphones for different things. So that's it. When it's on air, it's just really used as a headphone amp. When we're doing other recording, that allows us to monitor stuff and do stuff. So all the audio feeds in the place come through there, off the DigiCart system and all sorts of systems. But really, it doesn't really matter. But that's just sitting up there. Yeah, that's one of those things on the end. So that is roughly the workspace. Trying to fit it in. I have no idea if this camera will focus on all that or not. Once again, sorry, these are rough and ready, just handheld doing the stuff. Okay. Well, this is our broadcast rack. I can't fit it all in because the studio space is so small. It's all like that. The wall's just there if I spin around. I can't fit and be back on the wall and show you the thing because it's there. It's the rack is big. It's, yep. So I can't get back. Okay. Top. Should really find something to point with. I think probably see. Okay. Mic processor at the top. That's for the mics. Called a mic preamp. This second unit down is compressors, limiters for the mics. It's all because you see I'm talking through here. It's set up so you can't do anything really silly with the mics. Keep everything nice and sweet. Digital systems, you do have to try and keep some of the mics sweet or your stuff up. Bit of processing here. Don't think the camera's focusing too good, or is it my eyes not focusing? Bit of processing there. That's effects. If anybody's called Dr. Love, that's the Dr. Love machine there. Okay. All the other inputs, there's two sets of inputs. That's 16 channels. Sorry, 8 channels. 2 4-jack limiters. That's all the other inputs that are coming into the system coming through there. The D cards are live stuff. Everything comes through there. The Skype. All the analog lines in are all that, because you've got to be careful so we can keep things neat and we don't blow up any of the digital gear. Now, brains of the studio. This is an ESI unit made by ESI. It's an ESU 1808, which means it's got 18 inputs and 8 outputs. That unit converts everything into digital that is coming in. The mics, the effects, everything else that is coming in, converts it into digital, sends it to the mix system. Some people call them mix engines that, but it's just a 18IO unit, which yeah, it does a lot. It also allows us to do all our fancy sends and bits and pieces. So these are the mics coming in, the effects. The back of the unit's got a lot more cables and bits and pieces you don't want to see, but it's all in the rack. Scrolling down the rack, there's a spare compressor here that's just sitting there taking space. Got nothing better else to put it, so it's safe. Down in this little bay here, fingers, this tags to say that's not in service. We have all our networking stuff for all the computers. That's a USB. It's a Behringer, old Behringer disc. It's used to do all the USB stuff for the Skype going out. So all the Skype feeds going out go through that to get them nice and neat. Then it goes via the USB to Skype router, which gives us all the computers linked and also gives us wireless access. Now, down here we have 2 HP system units. This one is the media server. I was almost tempted to tip the camera aside. It's just got all the MP3 stuff, all the audio stuff. That is the audio server. We call it media server. This computer is the radio station, or Studio One. The computer, the center screen, the broadcast, that actually runs that. It actually runs that, which is connected via the I/O. So all the inputs come into here. They come down into this machine. It's controlled by the mix system, which is there. So that computer drives, or that screen is driven, and that system drives all through here. So this is all the stuff coming in and out of the computer. This is the broadcast computer. It spits out the stuff you hear on thing, and it also spits out the Skype feed and whatever we're digitalizing. And then down the bottom we have 2 more HP workhorses. They're called Lefty and Righty, and they're our left and right screens out of our day. So this is all does all the Skype stuff, and this does all the other cons, and they're standard HP machines. Trying to get a good view. That's our rack of equipment. Any questions, of course, ask. I'll point you at the ceiling. Of course, we've got numerous backup drives and all sorts of bits and pieces that you don't want to see and don't see, or I can show you. But that's our drive broadcast rack. We do have another system that we are putting together at the moment, which is going to go and do a show job, and I can show you that. We're going to actually take some video of that tomorrow and show you one of our other systems. Okay, talk to you later. Hope that makes sense to you people. It's very hard shooting in a small space and also in a darkened space. Oh, we've got some fancy LED lighting, but we'll talk about that later. I'll do another video on PlayStation. Play it live, hopefully. Soon. Bye.